What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Sunday, May 1st, 2022, and this is the Amc Gme and SPY Algo Exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. I hope you had a great day. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Real quick, I didn't get a chance to do a unboxing on the live stream Friday because it did not come, but hail the new whip that is courtesy of my private Discord and a few of the members in there that, unbeknownst to me, threw in together and got me this gift of this Xtreme Gainz green and money green new chair for myself to sit in for this, so I appreciate that greatly. I did get it after stream on Friday, and I had an opportunity to unbox it and unveil it in Premium Discord, so I apologize that I was not able to do that out here on YouTube and or Twitch for everybody, but here it is to you members, to those of you, not two of you, but to you that did participate in this and throw in on this and or potentially were part of the idea to do this. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. I've been sitting here working all day with little to no back pain, which is a super rarity for me. So greatly appreciate it. And I love y'all and thank you very much. So with all that said, I want to go over all the regulars that I typically go over here. The Snake Algo for Amc Gme and SPY, as well as macro comparatives. So with all of that said, and it was a mouthful, let's dig in. On your screen is AMC and my intra-week Snake Algo clips. And as you know, as of last week, there was a debatable position between an extended version and or a shortened version of the previous Snake. Therefore, it gave a potential of having two different clips here, one from Tuesday, one from Wednesday, both with a one-day overlap. They have projected and fulfilled both of them thus far since placement, and they have different indications and suggested projections moving forward, going into tomorrow and potentially beyond into this week. The red one is from Tuesday. This is the Tuesday clip with a one-day overlap to Monday. Its potential projection and indication is consolidation, short-term consolidation here, followed by downside. And then the Wednesday clip would be the same short-term consolidation, followed by upside, and then continuation to upside. Obviously, one's in an ascending manner, one's in a descending manner. The intraday micro snakes have been absolutely bonkers dead on. Now, Friday was a little more complicated, specifically with SPY. SPY ended up diverting 3 different times, giving 4 clips of the Thursday 5-minute micro snake on Friday. However, AMC diverted twice, which then gave 3 clips, and it started off as mirrored flipped, then flipped, then flipped. I explained in the live stream Friday the sequencing of clipping these and how I believe that's starting to portray itself and work. I'm gonna put that into action tomorrow as well. I will be clipping this 5-minute chart from Friday and using it for tomorrow. I will be live here tomorrow, so I'll be doing that in real time on the live stream, so we'll get to discuss it more then. But it was absolutely spot on again Friday. And it continues to be, as most of you who follow me here know, and or some of you that are attempting to keep up with this yourselves. You have seen its accuracy, and it's pretty impressive. So that's what I'll be looking at with the micro snake, specifically with that sequencing of the clips and how that goes with the diversions intraday in real time. Outside of that, I will go over that in its entirety. There's no sense going over it now. It's 1 of 4. It's either straight up flipped, mirrored, or flip mirrored, and you all know that, so you can take a look at that clip on your own outside of that. I can tell you one goes with the orange, one goes with the red. I can tell you that much. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at with the snake algo method, both intraday and intra-week snakes with AMC. The macro comparative is from the macro descending wedge prior to the January 2021 run-up. It's the macro double-double. And previously, I had talked to you all about this when we were up in here, about potentially inverting this downside bottom in an upside top way, and that is exactly what happened candle for candle. Then when we got down in here, or even prior to that, I talked about a couple different potential expectations, one of which would be to converge back with this and double and potentially put in this double top, or continuation to downside in a manner in which I had recognized in real price movement, and it was this exact bottom what looked like potentially being fulfilled again. So I had pulled this over here 2 weeks ago and took a look at it, and it has given 100% absolute projection and fulfillment thus far. Now, with that being said, there are two positions of this that I'm keeping an eye on, and I'm going to show you. This is obviously the one. This is the one that I've been following and going over on these update and prep videos, as well as in my live streams with you all. This one here, the indication of projection from it moving forward, it looks like immediately tomorrow downside, and then continuation downside in this descending manner. However, the secondary position that I started looking at here is this potentially being that the bottom is already in right there. And if that bottom is already in, obviously the indication for projection from it is the opposite. Looks to be right out of the gate, upside move, maybe then some volatility pullback, but an ascending level of continuation to upside. So those are the two potential positions I'm looking at for this macro comparative. If it continues to follow this in any way, that would be an inverted mirroring of this double top. And no matter which way I have it here, it's essentially going to do that either way. So that's what I'm looking at. And real quick, before I move on, I don't want to spend too much more time on this, but I want you to look at this comparatively to the intra-week snakes. If you look at this in the position that I had been looking at it and showing it on here, you can see where I put the line in here for the descending intra-week red snake, and what does it run right with? And the level to which that bottom would potentially be put in at, where does it land? Exactly with this lined up in that position there. However, when looking at it in the secondary position that I just showed you, and let me do it over here. If that were the case, and this snake were to be the ascending level snake with the short-term upside move, pullback, and then consolidation in an ascending manner, it indicates the exact opposite and the exact same thing as the secondary position of this. That is kind of what led me to look at it like this, to see if there was a possibility for that. So I am going to be using myself personally the intra-week snake and positioning of those snakes to potentially give me some insight quicker to this macro fulfillment and go from there. I did talk about this potentially converging back with the macro comparative that I have been going over almost this entire time, the blue one, whether it be in this ongoing or this potential secondary position up here. That is something I will address and look into more if and when we continue to follow this in any of those two positions. GME, all I have are snakes for it, intra-week snakes on here. And there they are. Same thing with GME. I pulled them and clipped them the exact same manner that I did AMC last week because of the debatable positioning of the previous one with GME as well. The indication from, let me see here. Yep. So red one is Wednesday and orange one is, red one is Tuesday. Orange one was Wednesday from last week. Indication moving into tomorrow is complete opposite. It appears to me in this position that there could be potentially a diversion point here tomorrow between the two of them. However, if you look at the generalized perspective of this in its entirety, they are both essentially the same. However, difference in the next couple days, short-term movement. And that is what I will be looking to potentially identify moving into the first couple days of the week here with GME. SPY, the macro comparative is the red. That is the comparative from the 08-09 correction and crash onto current that I have been going over in the extended version that I have been going over on this stream, again, just as long as I've been on this stream. And last week, it was essentially running with, at the time, the snake, the intra-week snake that had been projecting and fulfilling for 4 whole weeks. And it ran absolutely perfect with it in here last week. I literally talked about this downside move on Thursday potentially occurring. I talked about a potential short-term move upside, and if at all, then continuation downside, a rejection and off 429, and then back downside to potentially put in this W formation that the snake was showing, and that is literally what happened. SPY absolutely dumped out all in one day. I do believe, I think I said in Thursday's video, I wasn't sure that I was expecting the whole thing to happen on Friday, but it did. So nonetheless, SPY puts, I had a scalp idea for a SPY put that went for over 600% on Friday. So absolute monster day puts for SPY. It did follow the snake, and it has not quite been super granular about it, even though this is to be viewed on macro. It has not completed its expiration or its fulfillment yet. However, it doesn't have to. So if this were to continue downside and divert from that, that's fine. I am prepared for it, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. However, the macro comparative does indicate the same thing as the last portion of the snake does as well, and that appears to be a bounce up out of here and potentially back up what looks to be tomorrow, maybe to the 422, but then continuation to upside in an ascending manner prior to consolidation moving out the next week or so. Then I went ahead and clipped Friday's movements in preparation for, in an attempt to stay out in front of the potential diversion from this snake and macro comparative to the downside prior to it fulfilling the rest of its little projected tail here. And if I do that, and I place this on here with the overlap, similar to what I had done previously, there's a potential for this to be the next snake, just like the yellow one. And I'm going to go ahead and change this yellow so we know to look at it as yellow. There will be a potential for that, in my opinion, to be the next snake. And if it is, the obvious indication from it is continuation downside. Immediate downside, followed by continuation to downside. What looks and appears to be down to around the 390 area. I think it's going to be very easy to tell which one is going on, or anything in between those. So that is what I'm looking at. However, keep in mind, if this does continue to fulfill the current intra-week snake, I will disregard this clip, and I will be looking at potentially clipping tomorrow if it does, because I believe by the end of day tomorrow, this would be fulfilled if it does make a move to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at with AMC, GME, and SPY going into tomorrow and potentially the rest of this week. That's all I have for this video. If you made it to the end, thank you very much. Do y'all's thing. Like, comment on the video would be greatly appreciated. Quick reminder, I will be live here tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. from market open to market close. Like always, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, and I hope to see you all first thing tomorrow morning for the last live stream, both on here and on Twitch, starting at 9 a.m. Talk to y'all then. Enjoy the rest of your night. Later.